A terrified man has revealed his dead girlfriend has been messaging him on Facebook, and the messages are just chilling to read. An unnerving story from a man named Nathan, whose girlfriend, Emily, was killed in a car crash 2 years ago. Emily is, according to Nathan, still using Facebook. And she's been sending him some seriously chilling messages from beyond the grave. The whole thing started on September 4, 2013, when Emily returned to Facebook. According to Nathan, only he and Emily's mother shared admin privileges of Emily's Facebook account. But, when it became clear it was not Emily's mother sending the messages, Nathan assumed one of his late girlfriend's friends had hacked into the account. However, Nathan soon realized that the messages Emily was posting were sourced from old chats the two of them had shared back before the accident that claimed her life. Then, all of a sudden, things became even more chilling. Emily had started tagging herself in photos. This kept going on, with Emily randomly tagging herself in photos and posting messages comprised of words she had typed when she was among the living. It could have been a Facebook bug, Nathan told himself. Some sort of bug in the system was regurgitating old messages in his own words, and, while it was terrifying, it could be explained away. Until, all of a sudden, Emily used her first original word. It's the, "I don't know what's happening here" that really makes our blood run cold. In his post, Nathan reveals that the messages left him unable to sleep, crippled by terrifying nightmares in which Emily was trapped in an ice-cold car, frozen blue and gray, and I'm standing outside in the warmth screaming at her to open the door. She doesn't even realize I'm there. Sometimes her legs are outside with me. Nathan revealed that the "just let me walk" line left him chilled for more reasons than one, saying, in the collision, the dashboard had crushed her. She was severed in a diagonal line from her right hip to midway down her left thigh. One of her legs was found tucked under the back seat. Based on her plea to be let go, Nathan decided to memorialize Emily's Facebook page. But it still wasn't enough for Emily to rest in peace, because she sent Nathan another message last week. And, in this one, she posted a photo which she had taken of him from behind a half-closed door. A photo which, Nathan says, was taken at a time when nobody else was there in the house with him. "That's my door. That's my computer. It's taken from outside. Help. I met James Vickers when we were both about 12. We were next-door neighbors and I had been out in my backyard playing soccer by myself, kicking the ball against the fence. It was at this point I met James. It took me a little while to notice his little spectacled face peering down at me from his bedroom window. When I spotted him, I waved. He waved back and opened his window to talk to me. We spoke about lots of things. Interests, favorite foods, favorite video games, etc. I asked James if he would like to come to my house and play soccer with me. He politely declined and told me that he suffered terribly asthma, among other illnesses, and that his parents absolutely refused to let him out of the house or let anyone in. He asked me if I had a Facebook account and said he would add me on that. Checked my Facebook later that night, accepted James's friend request, and we got chatting. And from that day, that's pretty much how our friendship went. I would head off to school in the morning, finish up, come home and get straight on Facebook to speak with James. That's the way it was for about 5 years. Unfortunately though, James's illnesses got the better of him one day and he grew very sick. The inevitable happened though. I hadn't spoken to James on Facebook for a few days. I had spent some time in my back garden too, waiting for him to open the window and let me know that he was fine. He never did. Instead, his father came to my house one evening and presented with a small invite to a funeral. He told us about how much you both had in common. His father told me, "You were his only friend as far as we know." The funeral was very touching. I did my best to hold back my tears, but completely lost it when Fields of Gold by Sting was played as they took James's casket away. After the funeral, in his honor, still dressed in my suit, I had a bit of a kick around with the same soccer ball I had when I first met James. It felt weird knowing that the room he used to speak to me from was now empty and unoccupied. As sad as I felt, I knew he was in a better place. A place where his afflictions would no longer bother him. His death had come so sudden though. The funeral just hadn't done it for me. Perhaps I needed some kind of closure just to let me know that James was truly gone and wasn't coming back. So that night, I logged on to Facebook once more, opened up a chat box to James's account and typed, "Hello James." At this point I realized how silly I was being and promptly deleted the message before settling down in bed. I left the computer on, just in case any of my other friends sent me any messages. Something then happened that sent a chill up my spine. The only light in the room was being emitted from the computer screen, and as I peered across the room at James's still open chat box, I saw the words, "James is typing." This is way back in the mid-90s. Bulletin board systems were all the rage. I made friends with this guy from NC, he was friends with a bunch of us from my dorm, mostly females, which should probably have been a red flag, but I was extremely naive at the time. A couple months in, he mentioned he was coming to our state for a wedding and asked if he could come by our college to meet everyone. It was agreed he'd sleep in my dorm room since my roommate was almost never around. Now, there was no discussion or thought of sex, but I was pretty excited to meet this guy and see if he was as funny and charming as he was online. Well, day arrives, dude shows up. I should mention that I and all my college friends were 18 or 19, this guy was 24. Or so he said. Guy looked like, and I'm not exaggerating, a cancer patient. Pale, gaunt features, long greasy pale blonde hair except where he was bald on top, and just generally looked like he was about to die or he was dressed as a ghoul for Halloween. He insisted on hugging all of us. I was trying to remind myself that looks don't matter and that he was a cool guy despite his very unsettling appearance. But then, when we all started hanging out, things just got worse. He was asking really invasive questions of all of us, making weird comments to whatever was said, just all around creepy and distressing. I was sitting on the floor with another friend and actively rocking back and forth from discomfort. I lied and said I had hurt my back and that sleeping on the floor helped, because that night he kept insisting we could share my tiny twin college bed. Nope. Last time I ever met anyone from that site.